Good morning. No. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just eating my Dunkin'. Hello, Tanisha and Alicia and Kim and Brittany. Good morning, Melissa Oliver. I am sitting at the mechanic with my car. And they said it's a 2-hour appointment. So I got here and got my car checked in and was smart enough to stop and get a coffee on the way. Karen Kurtz says, are you coming in here to whine about your kids? LOL. Probably. Do you not want to hear me whine about my kids, Karen? I can give you the opportunity to leave before I block you. It's Friday. I'm not trying to bring that type of vibe up in here. Hey, Ursula. But you let me know, Karen, if you would like to exit stage left. Lori, yeah, I feel like 9 o'clock works better. Because then the day goes crazy. And then I miss hanging out live with you guys. It is chilly, Tammy, not 32. You're in Minnesota and it's 32. It was like 58 this morning when we woke up. Hi, Martha. Hey, Amanda. But it's cold. Like it's starting to get that little snipper snap of weather, which is a welcome change. Completely a welcome change. So, I'm enjoying it. There's no new curfew. Sophia last night got, a budgeting lesson. And that budgeting lesson, my nose ring fell out while I was cleaning. I must have been cleaning so intensely. I don't know how I knocked it out, but you can see my nose ring hole. I ordered one on Amazon. It should be here today. I hope it'll just pop right back in, but I lost my nose ring cleaning. And I was like, holy cow. That was a feverish clean. So, yeah. I ordered a cheap one. I think it was $7 off of Amazon that just has like a little head that you scoop in. So I do, Misty. I also take a supplement that I've added into my regimen. I take a lot of supplements, called Saw Palmetto. It's supposed to be very good, for the hair growth. So last night we had a little budgeting lesson with Sophia because she's only been working one shift a week, and that one shift a week earns her on average $120 to work one shift. That's what she earns in the one shift after her taxes and whatever. And so Dave pulled up her bank statement, and she was like, I don't spend a lot of money. And I was like, well, what is a lot to you? Like, what do you think? Like, I'm interested in what you think a lot is, because I see you spending a lot of money, and you don't seem to think it's a lot of money. And she's like, I never go shopping. And I have plenty of money in my account. So Dave checks her bank account. And I said, just for shits and giggles, I went to the back waiting room of the mechanic place because nobody was in here. There are people out watching Sports Center and TV and all of that. And I was like, what's the furthest room where there probably won't be people? That's where I want to be. And they told me to come back here. There's nobody in here. It's the kid waiting room. So as long as a kid doesn't show up, we're good. So Dave pulls up her bank statements, and I said, go through all the fast food. Go through all the fast food. And so he starts to list Starbucks, Circle K, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, Crumble, Starbucks, Dutch Bros. I mean, it was just like bam, 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 bam. Just, it's fast food. It is fast food and beverages that is consuming all of the money that goes into this child's account. That is what. Then there was a pumpkin patch because they had a pumpkin painting party. The aesthetic of fall and Halloween pumpkin painting party, which is cute. Go ahead, do your pumpkin painting party. I'm not going to finance your pumpkin painting party, but go ahead. And, but she's correct in that she doesn't shop often. There weren't a lot of clothing purchases. There weren't a lot of shoe purchases. It's all fast food. All of it. And I said, do you realize? I said, every day I get up and I make my coffee. And I make my coffee in a coffee pot. And it saves me so much money because I can tell you how much that little Keurig cup, that little K cup, I can tell you how much that cost per unit. There's a little budgeting lesson. I can tell you what it costs for a cup of coffee. I can tell you that my 50-cent cup of coffee is saving me a lot of money because you're paying, like, what did I just pay for this monstrosity? Because I was coming here, I knew I was going to be sitting here for 2 hours. I didn't want to bring my coffee in here. So I probably spent $4 and change on this ridiculously large Dunkin' coffee. I said, if you make coffee in the morning, I said, and even let's go crazy. Let's go crazy and say we buy the Starbucks brand because that's what you have to have because you love it. Like, let's just say you love it. So we buy the Starbucks brand. Because here's the thing. I buy whatever is buy one, get one free in terms of coffee 9 times out of 10, because I want the cheapest cost per unit. So I said, even if you're like, oh my, I need Starbucks, I need Starbies, if that's what you need, if you buy it at the store and brew it at home, your cost per unit is still going to be exceptionally low. You need to stop going to Starbucks every time you leave this house. You don't have any money. Then she says, well, I never eat out. We count it up. We counted up the number of fast food purchases over the last month. Yes, this is from Kiki. Listen, Robin, you're a grown-ass woman. If you want to buy Starbucks a few times a week, that's in your budget, good on you. This is a 16-year-old child who is working 1 shift a week. She can't afford no Starbucks. One shift a week. Now, why is she only working 1 shift a week? She has a couple of college classes. She has her high school schedule. She's a social butterfly. So she's trying to ball on a budget, but she's not following the budget. She's just balling. Now, Kaylin, I'm much like you. I like a specific coffee creamer. I like to get that one all of the time. There are some really yummy ones that I will go in between. And I spend, I might get the cheaper coffee, but I get creamer that I like. Okay. But I make my coffee at home most days. Also, I'm mostly not leaving the house around coffee time. I'm at home during coffee time. But like today, if I'm going out to the mechanic and I stop, I've spent $4.50 on this. My cup of coffee at home can't be but 50 cents. It's the fast food. These kids are spending so much money on the fast food industry. The other night, I'm in the middle of cooking a meal. She walks in with food. I said, I just made dinner. I didn't want that. Oh, I'm looking around to see who cares. Eat what we have. I've already paid for it. I'm cooking it and I'm offering it to you. She walks in. I didn't want that. Should I sit her down and list to her all the things I don't want to do, all the bills I don't want to pay? I said, you cannot afford this. And you need to pick up another shift a week. You need to be working 2 shifts a week. You are high maintenance. You are bougie. You have expensive taste. This child has expensive taste. I say, you can't afford to live like this. You can't. Jennifer, she doesn't. The paycheck is going in. the spend is going out. She got no money in there. She got no money in there. And she's like, I don't spend a lot of money. Yes, you do. Oh, Dave drove the budget conversation last night. Dave drove the budget conversation. We sat at the kitchen counter. I made dinner. We stood at the kitchen counter and he talked for over an hour about the cost of living, inflation, what it costs. I mean, it was probably too far over her head, but we literally talked about just to run the house, the bills, because we said, when you grow up and you leave this home and you have to go out on your own, think about all the bills you're going to have. We said, when you move out, you're going to have your own car payment, your own insurance payment, your own phone payment. She goes, you're going to make me pay for all those things? I said, what? She says, when I move out, you're going to make me pay for my phone and my car? I said, you want me to pay? You move out, you're married 30-year-old woman with children. You expect me to still pay your phone and car payment? I said, you've lost your mind. You've lost your mind. No, I'm not going to pay for your phone and your car and your insurance when you're grown and you're out my house. It's insane. So we talked about how much is gas in Florida. I think I just filled up the other day and I want to say it was $3.89 a gallon. $3.89 a gallon. I have a budgeting app. I could put it on her phone. I have one. But no, I told her, I'm not going to keep paying for your lavish lifestyle when you are a grown-ass adult. She goes, I said, I'm not paying for your cell phone. Once you've left the house and you've graduated college. And she goes, why not? Isn't that what a family plan is for? I said, yeah, your own family. That's your family now. You graduate college. You get your own family. You pay for your family plan. I said, I'm not paying. I said, well, what does my family plan have to consist of now? Now I got to pay for my phone, your dad's phone, your brother's phones, your phone, your new husband's phone, their spouse's phone, your kids. I said, that's not how this family plan is going to work. She said, it's a family plan. It's a family plan. It's a family plan. She said it's a family plan. Then she told me she never moving out. She says, well, I just won't leave. I won't ever move out. I said, listen to me. I said, listen to me. You are the one. I said you could stay here through college. I offered this up. You want to go to college at a local state school and you want to live at home so you don't have these bills and you keep living like, I don't know, give me a famous person who has lots of money and lives like a queen. I don't know, that person. You want to live like Cardi B? I don't know who the kids. Then, you know, you have to live at home. I said, but you're the one who told me that you want to move into the dorms at the state school and not live here. I said, if you move into the dorms and you don't live here, you're going to have a lot of other bills that you have to pay. I said, we don't pay for your brother's, like, he goes to the grocery store down in Miami. He's paying to go to the grocery store. Like, we pay for a meal plan for him. But if he wants to go to the grocery store because he needs milk and cereal and whatever for his dorm room, I'm not paying for that. He has a job. He has money. He pays for that. I said, if you lived at home, I'd pay for that cereal and that milk. But if you want to go off campus and live there in a dorm or whatever, go ahead. She goes, well, Matthias makes $20 an hour. He tutors and through a program. I don't know if it's Sylvan or whatever, but he tutors, and their rate is $20 an hour, which is great. And I said, well, you could get a job that makes you $20 an hour eventually by the time you're in college. I said, right now your job makes you $14 an hour. You need to work more shifts. $2.89 for gas in Nebraska. Oh my God, it's $1 more here a gallon. College is going to be a bit eye-opening, I think. I guess I'll take the blame for this one, for sheltering her. But we've talked about money for the longest time, because it's like she thinks that we can just print it somewhere. And it's not how it works. You know? I mean, I told her, I said, do you know how much money I spend before I wake up in the morning, before my feet touch the ground? I said, it's painful. You got to pay the mortgage. You got to pay the light bill. You got to pay the water bill. You got to pay the grocery bill. You got to pay the health insurance bill. I said, and all of these bills that we have to pay every single month, none of it's fun. This isn't fun shit. Like, nobody wants to pay the water bill, but you want water. It just, it's just, it was all fast food is the point. It was all fast food. And I was stunned at the amount of coffee and fast food purchases. So she did stand there last night, because this was a lengthy conversation. So she did stand there last night, and we looked at how much nurses make for a salary, the different types of nurses. And we looked at, cost of living and how much somebody needs to make in order to afford. And here's the thing, when you look this up, it tells you to afford to live a life comfortably, and it tells you what a comfortable life means. And in there, in this explanation that the internet is giving you, a comfortable life means rent, not own a home, rent a home. It means lease, not buy a car, lease. It means, so they use very specific. So I said, you have to read this language for what it is. If you want to just rent, which is totally fine, you're not going to own the house. which means when you're done renting it, you pack up and leave. So all the money that you paid into living in that home, that was rent, not mortgage payments. You don't own that piece of property. You buy a car, it's yours and you can trade it in again after you've paid it off or whatever. You lease it, you got to give it back. You paid to drive it around, you got to give it back. So we had a lot of conversations about things that she didn't fully understand. And the amount of insurance, $350 a month to insure her for her car. $350 a month. $350 a month for car insurance for a teenage driver. It's insane. Can she work more shifts than she should be working 2 a week? We told her last night, you need to start picking up 1 more shift a week because you just can't. You're spending all the money that you're bringing in and you're not going to have anything for when you actually need it. Yeah, when you buy a home, you don't own it. There's property tax for the rest of your life. Yeah. All the taxes, all the insurances. It's such a scam. It really, really is. It's ridiculous. No, there's no student discount. I mean, that is the student discount, I guess. I don't think they have, that is one of the problems that I have with Chrissy, with the high school. I don't think they do a financial literacy course at all. I don't think they do a financial literacy course. And I think that that's a class that these kids should be taking. I know nobody balances a checkbook anymore, like how we used to have an actual checkbook registry and you wrote in every time you did XYZ. But I feel like literally giving her a checkbook registry and saying every time you swipe that card, write it down in here so she can see what she's paying out. And then have it tangibly to look at and be like, oh, I'm broke. Cause she's looking like this at the bank account. Cause she doesn't want to see the whole thing and see how broke she is. It's insane, Rachel, it's insane to insure in the state of Florida a teenage driver. It's insane. There used to be a class in the high schools called financial literacy. I don't know why it doesn't exist anymore. Because honest to goodness, that's what these kids should be learning. Oh my gosh, Christina, $500 in Atlanta for teen car insurance. Yeah, so all I would say 99.999% of the purchases that we looked at on her transaction history were fast food. What is Matthias going to school for? Business administration. Your dad used a checkbook up until 2022 when he passed away. Well, may he rest in peace. And I still have a checkbook in my purse. It has dolphins on the cover. So I think that should be something that they should put back into the high school curriculum is a financial literacy. It just doesn't, I mean, they're not learning the basics. So last night I made Sophia, run to Publix for me because she needed to pick up, I needed a prescription picked up, and I needed raviolis, garlic bread, sauce, and ground beef for dinner. I was making raviolis. So I said, if you want garlic bread, get a box of that. Get the raviolis, 1 jar of sauce, and 1 pack of the ground beef. She texts back, Mom, it's $46 for this. I said, I'm sure it is. Everything is ridiculously expensive. She goes, this is only 1 meal, and it's $46. Now, luckily, the ravioli were buy one, get one, so that actually made 2 meals. The garlic bread was buy one, get one, so that made that 2 meals. But the meat, the sauce, and that 1 bag of ravioli, if you divide that out, right? Yeah. And that's cheap food. But with inflation and the price of everything is $46. Jar of sauce, $7. Ground beef, $9. Raviolis, $5.89. Garlic bread, $4.50. I mean, it all adds up. She was like, she goes, I can't believe that was $46. Yeah. Why do you think it's $400 when I go to the grocery store to get a week's worth of food? And then everybody complains about the food we got. It's insane. So anyway, it was a long conversation about budget. It was a long conversations. Two jars of sauce at Costco. When we get it, I can get 2 jars of sauce at Costco for $11.99, which is a better deal. But I was just having her run in to pick that up because I won't get to Costco until the weekend. But hamburger is $9 in Florida. Hamburger is about $9 for, I don't know, the small square packs. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your Friday. This weekend is homecoming. So the kids have their homecoming dance, which is going to be fun. And, but I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week. What kind of sauce did we get? Mazzetti's? I don't know. It starts with an M. Mazzetti's? We do pack lunches for their, yeah, I don't know that she's necessarily eating the packed lunch. Brian packs his lunch. I know that. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I have to do a podcast for somebody, so I'm going to jump on and do that while I wait for this car. Hopefully they don't find anything wrong with it. And I will see you all later. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.